Here's something I wouldn't mind seeing abolished off of YouTube. Family channels. There are so many examples where these channels are used as simply a front to hide abuse going on in the household, like Ruby Frank's channel, for example, or Fantastic Adventures, remember that channel? And there was also Daddy05, though that guy was stupid enough to broadcast the abuse for anyone to watch on YouTube. But I'll get back to the abuse in a little bit. Even if you're the most squeaky clean family, absolutely nothing questionable is going on in your household, I still fucking hate family channels. I don't like the idea of shoving a camera into a kid's face in their day-to-day life and vlogging pretty much their entire fucking upbringing. It strips your kid or kids of a normal childhood and turns their childhood into this spectacle meant for other people's entertainment. When you're filmed on camera with the intention of that footage going onto YouTube for potentially millions of eyeballs to see, naturally you're going to feel pressured into being entertaining. You have to be the most quirky and zany version of yourself to keep the audience engaged, especially the kind of audience that watches these family channels. Which the audience is usually either children themselves or middle-aged moms who are like, "Oh, look at the happy-go-lucky family." And I've said it myself before, while I still am mostly myself in these videos, to an extent I am still an exaggerated version of myself on YouTube. I'm not nearly as outspoken in real life as I am in these videos. I'm not constantly talking about shit I hate in real life either. That's just the nature of content creation. You have to ham up certain qualities of yourself, at least to a certain extent, because if you really were 100% your authentic self in your videos, audiences would get bored more than likely. But the difference between me and the kids in these family channels is that creating content has always been 100% my own choice. I've been making videos since I was a kid. I had a channel before this one, but I'm sure a lot of you already knew that. But my interest in making content never stemmed from my parents shoving a camera in my face and saying, "Be entertaining for the camera. We have a YouTube audience to entertain." No, I just had an organic interest in making videos that has never gone away because here I am, nearly 23 years old at this point, still making YouTube videos. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if the kids you see in a lot of these family channels were never asked if they wanted to be YouTube stars. Just one day the parents decided, let's film our kids' day-to-day lives. A lot of other channels do that and rake in a shit ton of money. We can do that ourselves. But even if they do ask the child or children if they want to be on camera, they're not going to get an informed answer. The kid is going to be like, "Oh cool, I get to be YouTube famous." They don't think of the possible ramifications of having your entire life vlogged for potentially millions of people to see that can occur later down the line, because they're kids. And in the case of some of these family channels, these kids are literally born into having a camera shoved in their faces 24/7 and having their whole lives be vlogged and public on YouTube. I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch a little bit of Shay Carl. Remember that guy? He was the pioneer, or one of the pioneers at least, of the family vlog genre here on YouTube. As an aside, I have no clue what that guy is up to nowadays, or if he even still makes content on this website. The last time I paid attention to him was when that scandal came out, where he was cheating on his wife. And then he uploaded that weepy bullshit apology video where you don't even see a single fucking tear roll down his face, where he's like, "I am so sorry to my wife and my fans that I have let down," and then his stupid fucking audience was like, "Oh, we forgive you, Shay Carl. You're a good guy." Ugh. But anyway, that dude has like 6 or 7 fucking kids, and when some of those kids were literally being fucking born, he was right there vlogging. Were those kids exiting the womb saying, "Yes, I consent to having my entire life be vlogged for millions of people to see"? No! They're born into a life where a significant portion of their day-to-day life is filmed for content. They don't know any other kind of life. I just want a kid to be able to enjoy a happy, normal childhood where they don't have to worry about being a puppet dancing in front of the fucking camera for their parents who use them for content and money. And like I said at the beginning of this video, since a lot of these family channels have been exposed for abusing their kids behind the camera, or again in Daddy-O-Five's case, on camera. I am weary of every single one of these family channels. I have no reason not to believe that they're not a front to hide abuse going on in the household. Because if there ever is any suspicion that abuse may be going on behind closed doors, the parent or parents that run the channel can point to the channel and say, well, look at our videos, look at how happy our children are in them. And they may have a large audience of people to back them up who refuse to believe that the happy-go-lucky family they see on YouTube is not so happy-go-lucky when the cameras are off and sycophantically attack anyone who brings up any legitimate concerns. And thus, any allegations of abuse is shot down and not taken seriously, and the abuse is allowed to continue for potentially years. That's why I honestly would have no issue whatsoever if YouTube were to one day say, you know what, these family vlog channels are out. We don't want these videos on our platform anymore. There are far too many examples of parents using these channels as a happy face mask to eliminate any suspicion of mistreatment inflicted upon the children. And they use these channels as a means to build up an audience of people who will gladly attack anyone who comes forward and says this family is absolutely nothing like how they are in their YouTube videos behind closed doors, and they actually have some pretty dark secrets when it comes to the treatment of their children. But nothing of the sort will ever happen because these family channels rake in a shit ton of views, meaning they also rake in a shit ton of money for YouTube, so they won't bat an eye unless the abuse is so blatant like in Daddy-O-Five's case or Ruby Frank's case. Which in those cases, YouTube will just terminate those individual channels, wash their hands of those messes, and not do anything else beyond that. Bottom line is, let your kids live normal childhoods. If they want to get into content creation, let them organically develop that interest. And for those who horribly mistreat their kids and hide behind a seemingly happy-go-lucky family vlog channel, well, you're just scum and should rot in hell. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.